Okay, guys, we're gonna continue with the second worksheet. The second page. And I know this can be a quite long worksheet, especially if you are a little bit rusty with factoring and things like that. So if you've only done like the odd problems or even problems, it's okay. Sorry about my cell phone. I think the important part is that you try them for yourself first before watching this video. So if you haven't tried any problems, stop watching. Try some problems and then come back. All right, so I'm going to continue factoring number 9. So the GCF is 3x, so I need to have 3x outside. And then it's going to be two numbers that multiplies to -3 but adds to -2, so that's what it is. And then I'm going to find my vertical asymptote by setting the two factors in the denominator equal to 0. So x equal 3 and x equal -1 is my vertical asymptote. Okay. Horizontal asymptote, well, since the degree of the numerator and denominator is equal, my horizontal asymptote will be y equal 3/1, so just y equal 3. Okay, so if I try to attempt graphing this, forgive me if it doesn't look right. So this is my asymptote, and this is my asymptote, x equal 3. I know, this is terrible. X equal -1. That's my asymptote. Okay. Is there a y-intercept? Well, it's going to be 0, 0. I'll tell you in a minute the reason why. Because to find x-intercept, we need to set the 3x times x minus 4 equal to 0, right? So then either 3x has to equal 0 or x minus 4 has to equal 0. So x is either 0 or x is either 4, right? So that means my x-intercept goes through 0, 0 right here and 4, 0 right there. So without plugging in, my guess of this graph is something like this. And then I think here it will be something like this that goes through the 0, 0. And on the left side, I need to plug in some numbers. So like, let's say I plug in -2. It's going to be plus up here, and then 4, -2, 4, 3. So plus. So I think it will look something like this. Just check the answer key. That's my guess. And I'm not wanting an accuracy here. I just want you to be able to find all the asymptotes and indicate point discontinuity if there is any, and find oblique asymptote if there is any, and find zeros and y-intercept. Okay? Again, graphing isn't part of your quiz. I'm just showing you how you might graph it if you have all those elements. And you can see I'm just guessing, right? Because your graphing calculator will be the most accurate tool. So guessing for like 75% accuracy, I think that's good enough. Okay. All right, so number 10. X is my GCF, and then at the bottom, GCF is -4. So then I can continue factor the top because it's a square minus b square. Again, that one you need to be able to notice it, or else you will never be able to factor. Okay? And it's frequent enough that I think by the time you go to pre-calc, you'll be able to kind of recognize and solve it. Okay, so this is another ugly case that you need to find an oblique asymptote for, because the denominator is 1 less power than the numerator. But let's do the easy one first. X minus 3 is equal to 0, x plus 2 is equal to 0. So you know what I'm doing. If I set the denominator equal to 0, I'm looking for a vertical asymptote. So these two are my vertical asymptote. There's no horizontal asymptote, but we are going to find oblique asymptote a little bit later. So let's find 0. So we set the numerator equal to 0 to find the x-intercept. So either x equals 0, x minus 4 equals 0, or x plus 4 equals 0. So my zeros are 0, 0, plus 4, 0, and negative 4, 0. Okay. Y-intercept will be 0, 0, 2. Okay. So I need to divide. So did you notice that whenever my denominator was a little bit crazy, I didn't use synthetic division. I used the long division. And I hope you can see the convenience of long division. And another thing that you need to be careful of is that you need to have a filler for x squared because there is no x squared in the numerator. And negative 4x squared plus 4x plus 24. All right, again, a little bit of a hard part. I have a negative 4x squared, but I need to multiply something to negative 4x squared to make it x cubed. So I need to get rid of negative 4, and I need to multiply by x. So then this becomes x cubed, and then it becomes negative x squared, and then it becomes negative 6x. And since we are subtracting everything, this goes away. This becomes plus x squared, and then that becomes negative 10x. So then the next, I still need to get rid of negative 4, so I'm going to do negative 1/4 again. And that's all I need. I don't even need to calculate anymore because remainder doesn't matter. When you try to find the oblique asymptote, you only need to have that linear function. So my oblique asymptote is y equal negative 1/4 x minus 1/4. And I'm actually going to move that up here so that I have room for number 12. So that's oblique asymptote. Okay. Let's go to number 11. I'm just going to zoom in here and then do it on here. What's happening? What's happening? Sorry. I think it's because this worksheet is there as an image. When I tried to drag it, I think I dragged everything. Alright, let me factor this first. GCF. Do you see how GCF comes so handy? Do you see that? You need to be factoring out GCF all the time. So then vertical asymptote, x minus 2 is equal to 0, x equal to vertical asymptote. Horizontal asymptote, no horizontal asymptote because this numerator has a greater power. This one, I can do either synthetic division or long division. And I'm going to go for long division because long division is easier. So I hope you're getting used to this. Whenever there is a coefficient in front of your divisor, you need to get rid of that. And to get rid of that, you find the reciprocal. So when I do that, it becomes x squared. Negative 1/4 times 8 is negative 2x. Okay? And since I am subtracting, this goes away. 2x minus negative 2x is plus 4x. And a way to make negative 4x to be plus 4x is minus 1. So oblique asymptote is y equal negative 1/4 x minus 1. Let's find zeros. Zeros is x times x plus 2 is equal to 0. So the numerator equal to 0. So either x is equal to 0, x plus 2 is equal to 0. So my 0 is 0, 0. Looks like 6, sorry. And negative 2, 0. So y-intercept is also 0, 0. All right. Let's look at this one. I don't know why that negative 4x is here. Let me move that. It's supposed to be here. Oh, there is only GCF in the bottom. So this is a little bit easier. So again, vertical asymptote, x plus 3 equals 0, x equal negative 3, vertical asymptote. Horizontal asymptote, you need to look at the coefficient 1/2, right? Because the degree is the same. And then 0, x plus 2 is equal to 0. So then -2 comma 0 is my 0. And lastly, y-intercept. Finally, we have a y-intercept other than 0. Plug in 0, so then 0 comma 1/3, because 2/6 reduces to 1/3, is my y-intercept. Yay, 2 more and we're done. Oh, very nice. Let's look at 13. First, let's deal with the GCF. 2x squared plus 5x plus 6. And then the bottom would be x plus 2 and x plus 1. And then let's continue factor out the top. This one is giving me a whole. So do you see how I need to cancel these two? So then x plus 2 is equal 0 is your whole. That means x equal -2 is where the whole happens. And vertical asymptote. My computer is having a hiccup. Vertical asymptote would be just the remainder, right? X plus 1 equals 0. So x minus 1 is my vertical asymptote. Horizontal asymptote, since the power is the same, horizontal asymptote would be y equal 2/1 or y equal 2. Okay. Let's continue to find 0. After you cancel stuff out, you only have x plus 3 equals 0 left. So x equal -3. So -3 comma 0 is my x-intercept. Finally, y-intercept is when you plug in 0 into all the x. So then 0 comma 12/2, which is 0 comma 6, is my y-intercept. My computer is going crazy. All right, last one of the day, and it's the simplest one. It's the section 3 one. So we know this very well. X minus 2 is equal to 0. So x equal 2 is my vertical asymptote. Horizontal asymptote, because the degree of the numerator is 0, is y equals 0, because the degree of a denominator is greater. So whenever your degree of a denominator is greater, your horizontal asymptote is always y equals 0. No x-intercept. There is a y-intercept though, right? Because if you plug in 0 to where x is, 3/2 is your y-intercept. And that's it. And this, you can actually graph it. You should know how to graph it, because this is an easy graph. 3/2. That's 1.5, right? So it goes through here, so it's something like this. It's not accurate, even though I could make it accurate. It's something like this. Okay. And that's it. I know this was a long worksheet and probably too much factoring for your like, and some division, some long divisions, right? But this is it. And if you can do this, you will have no problem on your actual quiz, even if it's online. And a lot of them will be multiple choice. So yeah, that's it. Again, if you have a question, oh no, we will have another review day, because section 1 and 2 was adding and multiplying, dividing. So we'll review that on Thursday. So you can take the quiz on Monday. Bye guys.